dragging me back into this Donald Trump talk, man. And it is interesting. It is intriguing a lot of times. It's just so silly. And we have this train wreck mentality here in this country that I just keep getting drawn back into it. But they're talking about, and somebody may have stated it in the chat group, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. They're saying that every mile of the wall costs like $4 million. Come on, man. Come on, man. You go to any major city in this country, you go to any small town in this country, and it'll come forth in different forms and fashion. But we got people outside right now, man, trying to keep warm. And you talk about spending $15 billion of our money, because at the end of the day, you can say all you want, but if you slap a tax on them, they're going to slap a tax on us, and evidently, and at the end of the day, we're going to pay for the wall anyway. Period. So that's silly in itself. But you're going to spend $12 to $15 billion of our money, taxpayer money, once again. You're going to spend $12 to $15 billion of our money for something that's not going to work. And for people that want to get here, have the wherewithal and the money to make it happen. Once again, with the drug cartels, they'll get the drugs here. You're going to spend $12 to $15 billion for that. And we got people right now that are chilled to their bones, waiting for their next meal. From Juan Cruz in the chat room on Spreaker.com. What up, Juan Cruz? He says the wall is racist banter. And that's the other part of this. That's the elephant in the room. That's the elephant in the room. A lot of this has to do with the fact that these people got brown skin, man. I mean, let's keep it real. Juan Cruz continues to say, how come you don't hear Trump and his supporters talking about all the Russian, Italian, and other European illegals? Exactly. That's very well put. From Sidney Jackson, if all the illegal immigrants were to leave, the construction industry would be gone in this country. They never go to the companies that hire these folks, though. Yeah, that's what you call irony. From P-Cola Q3, what a P-Cola Q3. Man, I just thought about it. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. We nominated P-Cola Q3 for a Ball Penis Award. Damn. I got his this is his note card that you hear. This is his note card, and it says P-Cola Q3, nominated for bringing up old shit on Kobe Bryant and Bookies. I forgot about it. No problem, though. We'll take care of it next week, P-Cola Q3. He says, I'm an Eagles fan, and I would rather go help build a damn wall than root for the Cowboys under any circumstances. I get that. From Gregor, I read an article that Omarosa forced Trump to bring in black entertainers because he said that since the blacks didn't support him. Gregor, I got a real issue with the way that you termed that, the blacks. Grego says, I read an article that Omarosa forced Trump to bring in black entertainers because he said that since the blacks didn't support him, he didn't care to have them around. She told him that would be a bad look. I could believe that. Or I could believe that somebody else told Trump that he needed to do that. I don't think Donald Trump cared one bit about having, any black performers at his inauguration. From Sidney Jackson, Clay, Trump supporters, I work in construction, and I've seen these contractors have one American foreman and the rest are Mexican workers. It's more hypocrisy. These greedy bastards don't want to pay Americans a fair wage, so they hire illegals. Exactly. And that's the other side of it. If this immigration thing, I guess, could be reined in, I guess, to a degree in illegal aliens coming to this country, I do think that what it would do would increase wages for Americans. Ultimately, I mean, it would have to, because somebody said in the chat room that all of these construction jobs and the construction industry would come to a halt. I don't think that. I just think that the regular Joe Schmo construction guy will get a pay raise. So I do understand that aspect of it economically, but it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. It's just silly to think. It's just silly to think or say that you're going to build or try to build this wall for $12 to $15 billion to stop people from coming in here, most of which who are good people. It's just silly to just think about and even talk about. It is. From Clay Clifford Davis, Sydney. You're right. If we went after these CEOs and put their asses in jail, I bet it would stop. Right. From Thorny Switch, they probably have work visas. From the 47th problem, it's a better way than saying you blacks. Right. I don't like that, Grego. I mean, and now Grego, from what I understand, is part black, part Asian. I think they would call him Black Asian. But the way that you term that phrase, the blacks, something's not right about that. Something's not right about that, Grego. From Truck D, the blacks is another way of saying you people. Right, it does have that same air about it. From Robert, one dope boy Slade, $200,000 houses, but about to cost $350,000. Probably, if Donald Trump has his way. From Corey, nah, Doug, the price of everything will go up. Do you want quality stuff cheap? If you do, you need a global economy where Donald Trump ties made. Where are Donald Trump's ties made? From Coop, if they get a pay raise, ultimately it's passed on to consumers. That's true, too. And I was a business major, and what you're talking about right now is economy or economics 101. Yes, wages will go up for salary people, but we will get it on the back end on taxes and on the products that we buy. It will. I mean, so it's really like the dog chasing his tail, man. I mean, but I guess the fundamental discussion about this whole thing is just the audacity of a man saying that we're going to build this great wall like the Great Wall of China. We're going to build this $15 billion wall on some estimates when we have so much other issues in this country where $15 billion could be more warranted. I mean, it's crazy. From Grego, I'm offended that you people... All right, for the record, if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, the reason why I'm lightweight laughing is because Grego does this to get a rise out of people. I don't think Grego doesn't like his own people, at least half of his people. I don't think Grego is purposely, trying to be racist in his tone and his rhetoric. He does this just to get a rise out of us. So I'm not really taking it, fully to heed. But Grego says, I'm offended that you people would think that I'm that way. You don't know that you do know that I have that ninja as a friend. That ninja being one of the guys in the chat room. From Clay Clifford Davis, remember black people used to work in the cotton and fruit fields, but since black people wanted equal pay, they got the Mexicans to do the work for less money. To a large degree, what you're saying is 100% accurate. From Big John B, it's Blasian, and that's synonymous with traitor. Blasian and synonymous with traitor. Okay, I didn't know that. From Thorny Switch, that's already happening. Look at the home prices now. Downturn is coming later this year and into 2018. From Big John B, it's $26 billion for building the wall. $26 billion? Wow. $26 billion. All right, I didn't see that number, but I'm not going to doubt you. The number I kept seeing was between 12 and 15 billion. And maybe those were numbers being given by the Republicans trying to be conservative. Right. Chances are that you're right, that the number more so is probably 26 billion than 15 billion. Now that I look back at it, the people that I saw say that on the news, they probably were friends to Donald Trump. So, yeah, $26 billion. That's even worse than $15 billion. From T-Had to Dub, rich white people look out for rich white folks. So until business owners are penalized heavily, they will continue to outsource jobs. Building a wall won't keep them from keeping U.S. wages down. With Donald Trump, that won't happen because he looks out for big business. Right. I think that a lot of this And it's part of the ridiculousness of Donald Trump. I think that part of this is Trump, in his vain nature, wants to appear like that he's keeping his campaign promises. Knowing fully, even though that he looks like a fool and most people know that they won't happen, they won't come to fruition, I think that he does it just so that he can say to his people that voted for him that I tried to do what's right. I tried to produce on my campaign promises, knowing fully well that he can't build a $26 billion wall. So in other words, I think that a lot of what this dude is saying and what he's done and said in the first 5 days of his offices, his being in the office of president, I think a lot of it is just bullshit. You know, simply put, at the end of the day, I think it's just BS rhetoric. And I think it's just to say, once again, to the people that voted for him, look, I'm trying. They keep stopping me. As ridiculous as it may sound, you know, I'm making forth effort. I'm putting forth these executive orders, and whether it happens or not is really not up to me. All I can do is try to, you know, push the agenda forward, knowing good and well that at least I hope, knowing good and well that America's not going to pay for a $26 billion wall. All right, you know, so this thing is really it's just all smoke and mirrors, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. 26 billion, not with an M, with a B. $26 billion. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Me and my brother had a conversation maybe 2 days ago, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. We had a conversation, man. If Trump continues with this ridiculous stuff and this direction that he's taken in the first 5-6 days of his being president of the United States of America, they're not going to allow this to continue. Like some way, hook, crook, once again, this is going to have to stop. You know what I'm saying? This is going to have to stop. Some way they're going to figure out a way to set this cat up with some type of controversy where he gets impeached. If this is all legitimate, if he continues down this path in earnest, with all this foolishness that he's putting forward, like smart politicians aren't going to allow this to continue, right? And don't act like this country isn't capable of framing people, you know, and scamming people. And I just think cooler heads will prevail. Man. And at some point, if he continues down this path, man, that people in high places will make sure that some type of sex tape comes out with animals or something like that, or maybe, you know, something to that degree. Maybe that videotape of him, over there peeing on folks in Russia will surface, and our own government will buy the tape, and they'll put it out there, you know, and then they'll talk about the fact that he's being bought by the Russian government. I don't know, but I think cooler heads will prevail. It'll be all right. How about that? It'll be all right. Yeah. And sometimes I forget, man, that I got to be positive and that it'll be all right. You know, as soon as dude won the election, I made a nice little video where I was calm, man, and the crux of the video was that it's going to be all right. We've been through a lot worse things. It's going to be all right, and I believe that. It's going to be all right. From Coop, he says, I don't know if you want a Pence presidency. That may be true, but I mean, he's got to be better than Donald Trump. You know, at least he's a rational person. I said this a couple days ago. You know, Mike Pence is, at least from what I can tell, he may be a bigot, but he's a rational bigot. He does have some temperance of a leader of the free world, unlike his boss, the guy ahead of him, the orange dude. You know, he's somewhat rational. Just like the whole Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump thing.